Have you ever tried to flee from God? Have you ever tried to get away from God? It's like, I'm done. I want away. I want to get out of this. You know, for whatever reason, you are making tampu sa Panginoon. Okay? Have you ever done that? But what it means is that sometimes the way that God treats us or the way that we perceive God's working in our life is like, we don't like it. And so what do? We try to get away from God. But you know what? You cannot get away from God. You may think that you're getting away from God, but God is still there. He has not left. You may be trying to avoid him, but he's still there.
There's a saying that goes, once a crusader, always a crusader. One of the main things I have learned from our crusade missionary was the phrase, every time you meet someone, always put in your mind, how can I lead this person to Christ?
So many people don't know why they exist. They don't have purpose. They don't know why they are here. And I think one of the biggest problems that we have since the pandemic, I know that we all know that we've heard of so many people with mental health issues and depression, and really there's a sense of loss, that people don't know why they are here. And I believe that we as believers, more than anybody else, really have the answer. Why do we exist? And I hope during this time, just looking at the story of Jonah, we will get a glimpse of the fact that God has a plan and purpose for each one of our lives.
I was once young like you, young people. I was once would come to church and listen and sit. But there's one different thing about my exposure. I have seen the Word of God come alive in people's hearts through the ministry of the women. And God has honored that obedience. Search your hearts. Know God, because the future is whole, is yours to lead. They're in your hands. And for the family members, your children, they're the future.
While all this is happening, Lou and I kept on praying for a breakthrough in the workplace. Without knowing, God was working in the heart of our housemate, who is also Lou's colleague. September of 2021, he approached us if they can be a part of a small group.
Almost everyone that we know, particularly nurses in the same department and in the hospital. The South Central population is therefore mainly composed of nurses, colleagues in our unit. Hence, we can call it Recovery Church.
Why are you here in UK? Are you here because you are seeking the blessing of God for your family? Are you here because maybe financial needs, or you want to have a better life than you had in the past? Those are all valid things. But I want to just seed something to you right now. That's not the primary purpose that you are here. The primary purpose that you are here is to fulfill God's plan for you, and that is not only to bless your family, but to bless the entire world. By the way, for some of us that are here, maybe you have a checkered past. You've gone through some things, you have done things that maybe you are ashamed of. This tells you something about God's mercy and His grace to every one of us. That you are never too far away from God for you to turn back to Him. You are never too evil to be saved by Him. We need to have the same heart of compassion We need to have the same heart that Jesus has for those that are far from him, people that don't have a relationship with him, maybe people who have never heard about him, but need to know him, to experience forgiveness, to experience the grace of God that we all need.